this is The Last Word, and I'm Maria Shakil. Taking a cue from the Supreme Court's observations, the centre has told the court that it will put on hold at least two contentious provisions of the Waqf Act: the concept of Waqf by user and representation of non-Muslims on Waqf boards till the next hearing listed after a week. But the Waqf battle in court is far from being just a legal battle. Almost all the major opposition parties from north to the south are in court challenging the Waqf Act. On the show, we decode the politics as the top court pauses key Waqf provisions. First the story, then I bring in the guests.
Eyes 128. Nose 95. The bill is passed.
The suspense over the fate of the Waqf Act prolonged by at least a week when a bench led by Chief Justice of India Sanjeev Khanna accepted the centre's assurance that the key provision of the Act will remain stayed till further orders. The top court's intervention has not only ensured an interim protection of the Waqf properties but also has paused inclusion of non-Muslims to the Waqf board and councils.
I still call this law as unconstitutional, as violating the fundamental rights.
सरकार ने आकर कहा कि जो भी हम किसी किस्म का कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन हम नया नहीं करेंगे, कोई छेड़छाड़ नहीं करेंगे, जो वक्त बाय यूज इस्तेमाल होती आई हैं प्रॉपर्टियां वो रहेंगी.
Solicitor General Tushar Mehta urged the top court to not take any harsh steps on prima facie reading of the law and sought 1 week's time to file a preliminary response to the pleas against the newly amended Waqf law. A bench comprising of Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Justices Sanjay Kumar and K.V. Vishwanathan also recorded the government's assurance that no appointments in the central Waqf councils and boards will be made in the meantime. The Solicitor General Tushar Mehta said that the government won't denotify Waqf by deed and Waqf by user properties till the next hearing.
An order welcomed by the petitioner also saw the bench say that it was not possible to hear multiple pleas and it will only allow 5 petitioners in this case. It is now up to the petitioners to decide who will argue in the case.
Reactions from political parties were quick to flow in. Both the Congress and the Samajwadi Party used the order to hit out at the government over its minority record.
It's not about minorities called Muslims. It's about a messaging. It's about a message that minority institutions are fair game for state takeover.
जो टिप्पणियां हो रही हैं, क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी मनमानी करती है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी मन विधान से देश को चलाना चाहती है, संविधान से नहीं चलाना चाहती, मन विधान से चलाना चाहती है. अब उम्मीद सुप्रीम कोर्ट पर है.
After some tough questions to the centre on the Waqf Act, the Supreme Court has finally decided to hear the centre, but until then, as they have promised, to continue to keep on hold certain provisions of the Waqf Act till they finally decide on the matter.
With Nupur Dogra, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
And joining me on the show tonight, Dr. Shama Mohammed, National Spokesperson of the Congress. We have Shazia Ilmi, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Ghanshyam Tiwari, representing the Samajwadi Party. And Kapil Sankla is the lawyer of the Supreme Court. Mr. Sankla, before I go to the politicians, I want to understand from you, how should this interim order of the Supreme Court be read? The opposition says that this is essentially, the Supreme Court saying clearly that there are a lot of concerns with the law. The government's view is that this is not really much. It's essentially a process of law which is being followed because this is what the Supreme Court would have done.
Well, in the first part, any law or order that affects a large number of people, the court usually says that the matter is in lis. The concept of lis pendens is that let no action be taken that affects the right or the status of people, without there being an express stay or injunction. What has been passed today is a very procedural order and observation because there is no stay in the matter. The court, in fact, if I say, also stated that they are in agreement with what has been said, and I quote, the Chief Justice said that we are in a particular situation. There are certain infirmities. We also said that there are certain positive things, and there are provisions such as 5-year practice of Islam. We are not staying that. So the issue here was that there is an act or a bill that requires consideration of the court. Please don't do anything that is going to affect the people so that it is difficult to bring back the plot. So I don't think the hullabaloo that is being made today is right. It is a procedural order where certain concessions have been made both sides, where a statement has been made by the representative of the government, Mr. Tushar Mehta, and what was therefore decided is that no non-Muslim will be appointed in the Central Waqf Council or the state till the next date of hearing or during the hearing of the matter. And as far as Waqf by user is concerned, it will not be denotified till the next date of hearing. So I don't think there is a slap or there's an issue. I think it is a very procedural thing. And I just think that a lot of hullabaloo is unnecessarily be made today.
Okay. Shama Mohammed, the court, of course, has passed an interim order because there are several contentious provisions in this bill which have been challenged by multiple parties, including yours. Validity of Waqf by user properties declared earlier by court decrees may now be void. Having non-Muslims hold the majority in the Waqf councils and boards, and that disputed properties, pending properties, will not be treated as Waqf. This is essentially more of procedure. Then why is the Congress party right now of the opinion that this is almost like a slap on the face of the government?
See, first and foremost, I feel today some sort of justice has prevailed. He said it's a procedural order, but most of the BJP supporters and BJP people are calling, if you look at Twitter and everywhere else, Sharia Supreme Court. Of course, it's a slap on them. And that is why, see, the Supreme Court has understood this government has a plan, a devious plan against the minority community here. Now, they clearly said no Waqf by no user is denotified simply because Waqf by user starts, there are mosques which are built in 14th century, 15th century, 16th century. They don't have papers. And they have put a district collector in charge who says, and district collector, the Supreme Court, in fact, the Chief Justice asked, he identifies a property, and once he says it's a government property, it ceased to exist as Waqf. So the Supreme Court Chief Justice asked, why should he decide? It should go to court once he feels that it is not a Waqf property. It should go. But he can decide that it is no more a Waqf property, it is a government property, and then go to court. So that is giving too much of power to a district collector, and multiple properties, around 4 lakh could be properties without registration, and they could all go
right
to the
now
government.
you give power to the tribunal, ma'am.
Can I say, I did not interrupt you. I don't know who you are. Please do not interrupt when I speak.
Panel, let's be polite and dignified here.
Yeah, let me finish. I did not interrupt him.
Yes, but it's wrong to say who you are, you don't know.
Whatever.
He has been invited by NDTV for this panel discussion.
But whenever a Congress
Ma'am,
person
you were legally and
speaks,
factually wrong.
Maria, you're the person. When I was abused on channel, when I was called a jihadi, you didn't speak a single word.
Ma'am, please.
Okay, I still remember that. So
let's extend that courtesy to the fellow panelists. Please go ahead.
So you
please
also be courteous to
Kapil,
me.
I'm going to come to you. Let her finish.
Sure.
Yes.
No problem.
Let me finish my point. So unnecessarily interrupting. So that is one important point which they have said. And the other one is that the Supreme Court clearly asked that if you want non-Muslims on Waqf board, will you have it on your temple boards and temple trusts? Will you have Muslims over there? And that is it's a big slap on the BJP government, because when it was at the standing committee, the opposition raised multiple points, and those points were not even taken into consideration. The JPC just bulldozed everything and went ahead and passed the bill. Of course, these are very contentious issues, and it cannot go through. And I still believe this bill is unconstitutional, and it should never have happened, because this is always bills are got against one particular community, their Waqf properties, their land. We have to understand, as a Muslim, I can tell you, Waqf land is donated land. It is donated by a Muslim for use for Muslims for various purposes, religious purposes, non-religious purposes, in the sense that hospitals can be built, schools can, but they're donated land. And like you said before, so Tushar Mehta said they all have to be registered. Any property which is not registered by the 1923 Act and if it is before 2025, it is
Okay.
not going to be a Waqf land. And that is not justified at all.
Okay. So the concerns which have been raised by the Supreme Court here, Shazia Ilmi, we are not saying all Waqf by user is wrong, but there is a concern. The point which has been made, no Waqf appointments, no change in status, has been agreed upon. Many would say that the Supreme Court has essentially put your entire law which has been enacted on hold, because it realizes that there are certain sweeping provisions which will not be acceptable to a community, and that is the reason why the nature of petitions which have been filed are essentially, all of them are questioning why this law right now.
Well, obviously the petitioners would want to protect their land and their turf and what they have been doing in the name of Waqf. But let me clarify a few things that the Congress spokesperson was talking about. So when we talk about Waqf by user, this was a question that was asked even yesterday, and it was reiterated and said a number of times by the Solicitor General that the Waqf property and the execution of this will not be done retrospectively. It would be done 2025 onwards. When Kapil Sibal got it entirely wrong about the number of non-Muslims in the board, and actually stated that there would be a non-Muslim majority, he was corrected again by Solicitor General, and so much so that it was not that he was ready to give, he himself said, I'm ready not just to give the affidavit, but this is the report of the JPC. And he says, besides the ex-officio members, which would be 2 of them, only 2 would be non-Muslims. So in fact, Kapil Sibal was also corrected. And not just that, the Supreme Court, the CJI also noted, also stated categorically that there are some very good points, and it's some very good points and good features in this amendment. And not just that, it was also said by the CJI that in fact a Waqf by user can be misused and maybe has been misused. Yet it would be difficult to ascertain and get the papers from everybody. To which yesterday Tushar Mehta, our Solicitor General, pleaded and said, no, it would not be done retrospectively. But even then there were pertinent questions raised where Waqf for user is concerned. So I think the Supreme Court would ensure that everybody is heard, and all clarifications on important issues and contentious issues which have been considered contentious would be addressed. And there would be, within 7 days, there would be a reply from the Solicitor General. But to call it, a slap on the face of centre would be, rushing it a bit, and would not be totally appropriate, because certain tough and scathing remarks were made by the Supreme Court, also to the various councils, and not just that, even on Murshidabad and the violence that is there. Supreme Court was very tough and said that we cannot allow, and there is no scope for this kind of violence, knowing very well that this bill is being there is pending in the Supreme Court, and all the petitions are being heard.
Yes.
So a lot of things happened. And as for the collector, I don't know when this happened, because there's a complete clarification that this would happen not at the district collector's level, but at a level higher than that, would be secretary and above. So this also is, I think, not being represented by the Congress spokesperson. If you only follow the proceedings, you would know more and better. And be better
Ghanshyam Tiwari, is the opposition or the petitioners here jumping the gun by saying that the Supreme Court has called the act unconstitutional? Because there are certain questions which have been raised, concerns expressed. At the same time, the government wanted 7 days. It has assured that the section 9 and 14 of the new law will not be enacted, and it has got that much time. So the interim order has been about essentially 7 days time till the next hearing.
Good evening, Maria, to my fellow co-panelists and our viewers. There are 3 important things.
Yes.
If one has to read the headline of newspapers, and I can quote Indian Express headline, for example, SC flags 3 aspects of the Waqf law.
Yes.
The CGI says, we do not normally stay at this stage, but this is an exception. It is not just a slap on the face of this government. It shows their absolute moral bankruptcy. because this was not a law that emerged from public demand and public interest litigation. This was a law that emerged from nefarious designs within those advising the Prime Minister and this government. Then it was proposed, it was brought in the parliament. The government realized even at that stage it was not ready. It had to be taken to JPC. If anybody looks at the report of JPC, there is a over 200-page dissent note in that report. Even then, the government did not listen. Then the bill was discussed in both the houses of the parliament. Again, the same questions were raised. The government, its MPs not only did not listen, they ensured that these questions did not register in their own conversation. So when this government tells the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court repeats those questions, when were these questions asked? When the government brought it for the first time, it was asked in the JPC, it was asked in the parliament, MP after MP. So these questions are questions that have been asked for the last many months. This government has not listened, and it shows, I want to state this in Hindi, it is a question that is सरकार के सलाहकार क्या बेहिसाब बेवकूफ हैं, बेशर्म हैं या फिर बेईमान हैं? Because these are questions which are very obvious. That if the CJI has to say it's a 3-member bench, and to which Tushar Mehta has to say that look, this bench itself does not have a minority member. The CJI had to state that this bench is not about religion. When we sit here, we are above religion. This is the kind of petty argument this government can come up to, and when it is asked a substantial question, it wants more time. What is this more time about? Have you seen Kiren Rijiju answer? This government has had half a dozen law ministers in its last 11 years. Have you heard any one of them answer these three questions? These questions are there on the streets of India, and these questions are there in the Supreme Court, and not one person of BJP, not even the spokesperson, who I respect, can answer these questions, because they know that these are obvious questions.
Yes.
And they want to
Shazia, one may say that this is unprecedented. For the Supreme Court to put on hold an enacted law, and at this stage has never happened. That's why the Supreme Court, said what it did. And that specific question, on the composition of Waqf board with regards to non-Muslims is something which has been flagged off as well.
So though it has been answered many times, and even on the floor of the House, and even in the last 2 days by a Solicitor General, and this is the argument that there are two separate entities, the Waqf land and the properties, and the statutory body created under the Parliamentary Act of 1954. Made by the government, so the job of which is only administrative and regulatory. So this has been said not once but many times. When you talk about Hindu boards and others, like has been mentioned and also has been stated in the Supreme Court, they are not there as regulatory bodies made under any act of the Parliament. So as a statutory body, if there are two non-Muslim members and whose job is only to regulate and not do anything religious, they don't have to do any imamat, ना तो किसी को नमाज़ें वहाँ पढ़ानी होगी बोर्ड को, ना ही उनको इमामत करनी होगी, ना ही उनको नमाज़े जनाजा पढ़ना होगा.
But the question is that specific point about Waqf boards.
Let me finish. Ghanshyam said a few things, और मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ही बेशर्म और बेवकूफ और बेईमान रहे होंगे वो सारे लोग, चाहे वो ममता बनर्जी हो जिन्होंने 2010 में ज्योति बसु के वक्त में वक्फ बोर्ड की करप्शन की बात की थी, और बहुत ही बेवकूफ और बेईमान होंगे लालू प्रसाद यादव जिन्होंने कहा था वक्फ बोर्ड ने कितना अवैध कब्जा किया है.
Okay,
सबसे ज्यादा बेवकूफ कहना नहीं चाहती हूँ, लेकिन घनश्याम के अनुसार चाहे वो रहमान खान हो, let me finish, चाहे वो रहमान खान हो या फिर राजिंदर सचर साहब हो, मैं नहीं कह रही हूँ, घनश्याम जी कह रहे हैं बहुत ही बेवकूफ और बेईमान और बेशरम होंगे जो ऐसा कह रहे हैं, चाहे वो सीएम इब्राहिम हो या पूरे की पूरे कोर्ट्स हो, और वो सारे मुसलमान, इसमें 10,000 से ज्यादा कंप्लेंट्स है, और शिया वक्फ बोर्ड जिन्होंने बाकायदा आजम खान से छीनी हुई जमीन लेकर मुसलमानों को दी है, सच में बहुत ही बेशर्म और बहुत बेईमान और बेवकूफ रहे होंगे. सही कह रहे हैं घनश्याम जी, ये कह रहे हैं कि चाहे वो शिया बोर्ड हो जिसने आजम खान से जमीन छीनकर गरीब मुसलमानों को वापस दी, या सारे राजिंदर सचर साहब हो, या जितने भी लोग हो, रहमान साहब, सीएम इब्राहिम, वो सब बहुत ही बेईमान और बेशरम है.
Can I speak?
Okay, let's go back to English, please. And yes, Shama Mohammed, please come in.
I also want to come in, Maria.
Yes.
I mean, she said some certain things. One thing, she mentioned that the non-Muslims are not there to give namaz. We don't want them to do that. For heaven's sake, we would never make them do that. But we don't want them to regulate our body, for heaven's sake. It is us who will do it. We don't want any non-Muslims to come in and regulate the waqf, number one. Then she says that the property prior to 2024 will not be denotified. It will be kept. But
I didn't say that. I didn't say that because you're so short on comprehension and you have real issues with understanding basic things.
Maria, can I speak? I did not interrupt.
I never said that. No, don't attribute it to me. Say your ears were ringing. Don't attribute it to me because I never said that.
Maria. Okay, Shazia, let her speak now.
No, but I didn't say that. She's taking my name.
Dr. Shama Mohammed, make your point.
I mean, I didn't say that.
Okay, Dr. Shama Mohammed, make your point, ma'am.
Notified at all.
Tushar Mehta says.
May I just say this?
Mr. Tushar Mehta, the CJ asked.
All I wanted to say was very shortly.
Yes, Kapil, I'm coming to you. Let the political battle get over. You'll get the last word on the last word tonight.
Waqf by user, if accepted prior to 2025 Act, is it now declared to be void or non-existent? And Tushar Mehta clearly says...
Hey, bhai, you know very little, Shama. Please don't argue.
Listen,
you
I want to
really
finish my
cut a
point.
sorry figure every time.
Listen, if registered, Tushar Mehta said. Now again, how can you register so much
null and void
which are built in 14th, 15th and 16th century?
May, my dear friend.
Let me finish one last point. She spoke for a long time, Shama. This is not a fair debate. Let me finish. Then she talks about the district collector. I will read out again about that. The 2025 law states that if the district collector identifies any property as government land,
it has been made clear. You don't know, Shama.
Property till a court determines its status. I'm reading out from what today's what has transpired.
Yes, it has been said in the arguments that it will be higher, and the word secretary was
there. She has lied.
Shazia, let her speak.
My God, it's very.
I know, but she's just.
No, even if you think it's wrong, let her speak. Let her make a point.
My point. I did not interrupt. Why do you invite this lady who
No, please, no. Shama, make your point. Yes.
Debate.
Make your point.
Please,
yes.
I did not interrupt anybody.
Go ahead.
So what she says, she has lied on that.
Ma'am, please go ahead.
Clearly, the 2025 law states that the district collector has the right to say that this is not a waqf property, and also the 2025 Act says clearly that any property before not registered, will cease to exist as waqf property. So, and you come on air and you cannot keep lying when we know.
Okay, can I come in now? Can I answer?
No, one more.
So, no, these are serious questions, and she goes back and says the same thing.
I want to answer, bhai. It's not she.
Okay, one moment. Shazia, you'll get the chance to respond because there are 2 points which has been made also by Ghanshyam. Respond to that and then I'll go to Kapil Sankla for the last word.
So I would like to say to what Shama has said, obviously she's short on comprehension. If she heard the proceedings yesterday and today, and I will repeat, it has been said by Tushar Mehta, who is the SG, who has said clearly it will be a level above the district collector. So Shama, please listen. Then you can speak better because this has been said in the Supreme Court. This has the argument. And also on this has not been said in the context of denotifying because there is an issue with waqf by user. Shama, be quiet. You're wrong.
You're lying. You can't lie to the audience. No,
lying is there. I mean, no, please. Last time, remember how Nirja ji had to kind of wrap you because you called somebody else a liar. Don't do this because you're not doing a great job for your party. Let me finish. And also, it is nothing
to do with
it has to do with waqf by user. So, and okay, one more thing, the non-Muslims will not be appointed because they have their own tenure. The tenure of the current state waqf boards as well as central waqf council and board will continue. Only after that, this would have come into play. But so far, there will be no appointments, and the properties which are in dispute will not be denotified. That is the only clarification, and until 5th of May, we will know more. But no, on the district collector, this has already been submitted and conceded. It will be a level above, and the word secretary of the government was used. So it is there in the proceedings, and whoever followed it can answer this.
Look, one question,
your entire question was baseless.
Okay, before I give the last word to Kapil Sankla, the Bora community members met the Prime Minister today. And let's listen into what they had to say after that meeting, during the course of that meeting with the Prime Minister. They had in fact thanked the Prime Minister for ensuring the passage of this crucial bill. Let's listen into them and then I bring in Kapil Sankla.
ये सारे विजन जो गवर्नमेंट ने लिए हैं, दाऊदी बोहरा कम्युनिटी उसका बहुत सपोर्ट भी करती है और आपसे बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं हम इस चीज़ के लिए कि आपने हमें एक्नॉलेज भी किया। हमने इसके अंदर एक्सक्लूजन मांगा है कि हमको इस वक्फ एक्ट के जुरिडिक्शन में नहीं रहना, एंड वी वांट टू बी गवर्न बाय अ ट्रस्ट एक्ट और अ सेपरेट एक्ट। जैसे मुझे साहब ने गाइड किया है कि आपने गाइड किया है, आगे का 100 साल देख के कोई भी काम करना चाहिए, हम उसी राह के ऊपर इसकी कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
जैसा गृह मंत्री जी ने उनके इंटरव्यू में पिछले सप्ताह कहा कि हमने सिर्फ माइनॉरिटी को कंसीडर नहीं किया। साहब ये जो एक्ट आया है वो प्रिवी काउंसिल क्यों लेकर आई? प्रिवी काउंसिल ने ये एक्ट इनैक्ट किया माइनॉरिटी के प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, लेकिन साहब आपने ये एक्ट इनैक्ट किया सिर्फ माइनॉरिटी के प्रोटेक्शन के लिए नहीं, बल्कि माइनॉरिटी विद इन माइनॉरिटी के लिए। तो ये उस दिशा में साहब बहुत ही बड़ा स्टेप है। इट इज़ इंडीड अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेप फॉर द वे फॉरवर्ड। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर इट।
So time for the last word, and the last word tonight, it goes to Kapil Sankla. Kapil, go ahead.
Things only on law, not on politics.
Yes, please.
Madam,
Pure legal aspects.
Is incorrect in all the legal points. Unfortunately, she should be aware, and everybody should be aware. The problem with the Waqf as it stood was that there could be no challenge to a property that was claimed by Waqf as its own. The owners shifted on a person to say that I am the owner. He could only go before the court, which was handled by the Waqf, the tribunal handled by the Waqf. There was only a challenge under writ jurisdiction. So therefore, it was onerous and contrary to every provision of the law under civil law. So this was contrarian to what is now otherwise established as the civil procedure throughout. So therefore, when she says that Article 25, right to profess religion, etc., it does not override your civil rights under Article 300A, which basically recognizes judicial intervention. Just a minute, madam. Recognizes judicial intervention that has been brought in. The second thing I want to say is there are various Hindu temples. I am the lawyer of the Shri Aurobindo Society, which is also under extensive public regulation where your caste, color, community or religion does not matter. So in the end,
Aurobindo Society doesn't come under the Hindu this thing.
Yeah, and in the last I want to say is that, madam, only for you, let not
don't fool people, don't fool audience.
Your judgment.
Do not fool audience out here. Let's talk about Tirupati.
Let us not blind people of our judgment. Let not faith be shaken by reform, madam.
Okay, Kapil, one moment, 30 seconds. I want one answer that I have a question of. Okay, no, listen to me.
The last thing is
this a case of judicial overreach?
Is
this a case of judicial overreach? As a lawyer, do you see this?
No, I do not think it is a question of judicial overreach.
Only Kapil Sankla on screen, please. Yes, go ahead.
It is not a question of judicial overreach. It is testing every law, every bill, every judgment is passed, and that is the beauty of our democracy. It goes before judges. The previous Waqf Act ousted it from the judges and the judicial mechanism. It is now time to make an equal playing field, even for every person in the community, irrespective of his religion.
All right, Kapil Sankla, thank you so much for joining us. Shazia Ilmi, Dr. Shama Mohammed, and Ghanshyam Tiwari on this edition of The Last Word. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.